Doxy here for Tack Shack Tactical TV from a miserable Joburg. It's raining. I'm here with Paul. Welcome, Paul.
Hi, Lynette. Hi, viewers. Yeah, it's so much for our semi-arid region.
No, it's raining now.
It's raining cats and dogs here.
And it's been for most of the day.
Yeah. And it's going to be apparently like this until about Monday. So, you know.
Rainy weekend.
Yeah.
Fire. Sitting in front of the fire and Netflix.
That's not a bad idea.
I'm definitely thinking of doing the fire when we get home.
Yeah. Okay.
In any case, let's speak about Black November specials. There's Hannes is still giving out a couple of specials, am I correct?
Yes.
There's not much happening right now. There's stuff happening in the future.
There's a lot happening. You've been running interviews since 7 or 8 o'clock this morning with ladies for the Girls on Fire 16 Days of Action program.
We're having 32 interviews.
32 interviews, so 2 a day basically we're going to be releasing.
Yeah.
Wow. And some of the stuff has been harrowing.
It's been harrowing.
I've peripherally been aware of what you've been going through, and I think you're going to need bloody stress counselling. You're going to need okay. Stress counselling is the proper term for it, but it actually turns out to be a whiskey.
Yeah, no, it's been a tough. Yeah. There's such bad abuse out there. What was nice, there's some strong women in between, which helps.
Yes.
So good businesswomen, but I've had some tough interviews today. You can't stand. It can't not
affect you,
and it does.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Look, so, and our message, of course, is that a woman who's our whole Girls on Fire program is designed to show women that there's potentially another way.
Yeah.
There's a instead of waving placards around and begging men not to abuse them, there's a different way.
There's a different way.
There's standing up.
Exactly.
There's having skills and training and the means at your disposal to stand up and say no.
And we call it 16 days of action, not of activism,
Exactly
because perpetrators will always be perpetrators. And I think what was nice with most of the interviews that I've had is most of the ladies are on a healing cycle, if you want to call it that way. My last interview was not like that. The lady is really bitter, and I don't think she's ever going to be all right. And that is probably the one that got me the most. Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Well, so our message is there's a better way. There's a better way of dealing with abuse, and far be it for me to say shoot the man in the face, but that's pretty much what it boils down to. Yeah. That stops abuse right there.
There's been terrible stuff happening. But
it's important to highlight this.
Yeah.
And then the people the other people that we have impacted on already. That have risen out of their situations.
2 of our previous Fighting Spirit Award ladies, and both of them, from totally broken women, have changed. The one lady, they blossomed. So 2 of them, I'm going to re-interview again for this time, and the one lady is just absolutely amazing. She could hardly speak to me, and she organised this thing, the one on Women's Day, the boss lady thing, and she is.
Yeah.
She survived, and she didn't survive. She's prospering, which is a good way.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Take whatever life serves you. Lemons make lemonade.
Absolutely, she has.
That sounds flip, but it's not. You've got to take whatever you have no control about what other people do, but you can control can control how you react to it. Yeah. What you make of it. So it's an uplifting message.
So we're going to have 2 interviews per day that we will be releasing from the 25th of November.
Sure.
Sorry, I had that dates wrong on some of the posts. I've just been so busy. I've tried to fix it all. If I haven't fixed it all, sorry.
And we had a police
inspection as well.
DFO's inspection Monday, Tuesday, full day both days. We were shattered.
Yeah, it's
guys don't understand. Oh, it's okay. The DFO comes in and he inspects your books. No, he doesn't.
We had to climb up and down the ladder and stuff like that.
Everything. Looks at each gun, checks the serial numbers. We actually found a gun that we've had here for 10 years, that was transferred to us by another dealer, and the serial numbers have been wrong since day one. It's bizarre. And that's gone through, we must have had 10 inspections here over the years since we got
one digit wrong.
And it's, yes, one digit wrong. But that just slipped past everybody, including ourselves, until this inspection. It's amazing.
Any case, we're still having Black November specials. Guys, support,
Black November, big thing.
Support GOSA.
So we're trying to build up to Christmas. We're trying to give people something extra, because people are poor out there. I mean, I know you and I are poor. We're all feeling the effects of 2 years of lockdown and load shedding, and it's had a hugely deleterious effect on the South African economy
and the psyche,
on everyone's personal economies. So we're trying to give a bit of a buzz at the end of the year. Yeah, we did the motivations Black November from the when was it? I think it was the
2nd of November.
No, that was from the 1st of November until the 25th. We then started off with a membership with swag, this stuff.
It's really awesome swag. It's
today, great idea. Yeah. Nice, keeps your nice body warmers, jerseys.
They're all from what do you call it, Johnson's Workwear.
All from Johnson's Workwear. Really, it's brilliant stuff. It's hard wearing. We use it ourselves. Anyway, so we've got great specials on those where you effectively get the merch. With your membership, you end up getting the merch virtually for nothing. It's much cheaper. Anyway, so we've got that running from that was from the 7th. So that's running at the moment as well, also until the end of November. And we're about to release another Black November special, which we'll release for next week. So we got like 1 week, bang, 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 bang,
CFR
bang.
Inquiries.
With the CFR inquiries, correct.
Look out
we will allow, or we'll open up CFR inquiries to non-members. Okay, it's more expensive.
But for a short period.
For a short period of time, but so that more people can figure out what the hell's going on with their applications.
But we've had a lot of guns leave the safe after on those.
No, look, that was honestly at the time we didn't actually realize what a big win it was. No. But it was a massive win for firearm owners in general in South Africa. Other gun shops that we've spoken to and that we've been working with, they're ecstatic about the number of firearms they've managed to move off their premises. Because once the last firearm is sold to somebody, what's the point of having it in your safe? It's just
his property or his or her property.
Well, it becomes a problem for dealers like ourselves, where 2 warrant officers come to do an inspection and they're here for 2 days. That's 2 days we can't do any other work.
No.
Whilst they go through item by item through your safes, and we don't have that many firearms. Guys last year Safari and Outdoor tried that court challenge to try to move their sold stock off the premises to Inyati Park to safe storage out there, but they lost it and they weren't able to do that. So God knows they must have been. It must, we've sometimes jokingly referred to it as playing safe Tetris. We started our business. We had a small category, big by other people's standards, but for a gun shop, small. A small category 2 safe, and we used to have to play safe Tetris.
Yes, I can remember.
We used to have to fit guns in and somewhere upside down and somewhere at angles and squashed together, and then you hold them closed.
Okay, we just had some lights go off, but then it goes.
Okay, and hold them closed while you slam the safe door shut to try and lock it, and so we've been through that process. But I can only imagine in a bigger vault, when you have exactly the same problem in a bigger vault, it must be a nightmare.
Yeah. So the gun buddies, we will release. I think we're busy discussing it. Hannes and myself, I've been busy with interviews the whole day, so Hannes and myself has been WhatsApping each other in between.
Yeah.
But I think we will actually open a practice call link for kids to for parents to pre-register their kids for the
event on the 10th of December
at Northcliff Country Club.
The event, the KZN event
we finished the one first. That's in the second. You're first going to go to the second. Okay, go to the second.
Let's go to the 2nd of December first.
Okay.
So that's steaming ahead. We're in touch with Durban Metro. We're in touch with the police down there.
How's that going, by the way?
It's going very well, but these things do take time. So for all of the permits and stuff like that, and there's a continuing stream of concern. I'm not going to say complaints because it is complaints, but for service delivery from the guys in KZN.
So it hasn't got better.
I believe that steps have been taken to try to make it better, but it hasn't got better yet. There's such a backlog. So even if it turns out that we end up going down there and things are improving, we can at least encourage that, because sometimes a bouquet is just as good as a brickbat.
Absolutely.
You have to give praise where it's due. You have to give credit where it's due. So that's going ahead full steam. Then also the 10th at Northcliff Country Club with the gun buddies for the kids and stuff like, and the air rifles and Sansu and
so we'll have
extreme air rifles.
We'll have 3 rifles, and we'll have 2 pistols, and then we'll have a story time for the younger kids, and we'll have a sing-along for the younger kids as well.
Fantastic.
So it'll be a nice, entertaining. It's just a half a day, so if you are around,
it's right at the beginning of the December holidays for kids and stuff like that. Come along. It's a perfectly safe environment. It's going to be a great idea to get the kids excited about the holidays, about something which is beneficial to them. Firearm safety, get to play with a couple of air guns. It's a great idea, and you can pick up great Christmas shopping tips for your kids.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so then moving on from there, we've got a fantastic program taking shape for February next year.
Yes.
We're moving the entire GOSA circus down to the Western Cape.
We've already spoken to the 2 GOSA Girls on Fire in the Cape.
On the West Coast, and they're going to help us organise stuff down there.
One Melkbos-Strand.
Melkbos-Strand is the West Coast. It's sort of like the gateway to the West Coast. Yeah. It's the Southwest Coast. Anyway, so we'll be going back to our old friends at Buffelsfontein. Daar waar die baard olie vandaan. We'll be at Kragdag at the
that's all in that area. Where is it? It's not Darling. It's next to Malmesbury. Okay, it's in Malmesbury.
You've got to pronounce it Malmesbury.
Okay.
Otherwise, people don't understand you down there.
So that's
anyway, I'm not mocking.
No.
I promise. I learned to speak Afrikaans with a beret.
Yeah.
It took me a good few years to lose my beret.
So we're also going to go either up or down. Going to do stuff with Toes River.
Well, on our way down or on our way back, yes, that's quite correct. We're visiting Jonathan Deal and he's the Safe Citizen, the convener and the leader of Safe Citizen campaign. We'll be doing our whole gun buddies and girls on fire thing at his range in Toes River, either on the way down or on the way back, depending on how things work out. We're going to be hitting another couple of ranges down there. We should do 4 or 5 events down there apart from the Kragdag.
One doesn't understand that, as I said, I actually spoke to a lady that couldn't actually do an interview with me right now for the 16 days of action. She's from Glugamka.
Okay.
And she's busy with the court case against the abuser and stuff like that.
Sure.
So hopefully we can get some ladies from the outlying areas to come and to do we'll definitely do a introduction to handguns. Our course that we always do all over the country. We'll do
and a good chance to get back to the ladies because of course a couple of years ago we were just before lockdown. We were on the West Coast at Buffelsfontein.
It was an
awesome event for 20-something, more than 20 ladies.
This is the farming community in that area.
So we'll go back to those guys and touch base there again because it's good to rekindle old acquaintances.
And we've got a very, one of our Girls on Fire.
Correct.
Stays in that area. She stays in,
in Eiserfontein.
Eiserfontein.
So we have Eiserfontein, we have Melkbosstrand, and we have a couple of people down there who will join in on these things, which is great. Yeah. It's a great way of activating that part of the country.
And we'll obviously do in conjunction, we'll also, with the Girls on Fire campaign, we'll do the Gun Buddies thing also at all of the events.
Fantastic.
Hopefully at Kragdag maybe we can do a story time on the weekend, yes, and sing along and stuff like that, which we are now doing at
Correct.
At the Northcliff Country Club. So look out for all of this stuff. Everything will be shared. Hannes will be sharing the specials on the
correct.
What do you call it? Issues of CFR. Hopefully we'll get the links out for the Gun Buddies thing. It's just been an absolutely crazy week. It's been like,
guys, you don't understand. You honestly don't understand the quantity of work that we're able to get out with very few people.
Yeah.
In a relatively short space of time.
Yeah.
It doesn't just happen. And I look largely to Lynette. She's an organizer of note. She, all respect to you for, and I mean, you do the coalface work with the interviews with the ladies.
It's
not something I could do. I must be honest with you.
Charmaine has been absolutely awesome in the background. She's been organizing interviews. I've even spoken to a lady this morning in New Zealand. I'm going to speak to another lady in New Zealand on, I think, on Monday or Tuesday as well. But that's an old South African. This lady wasn't. But she's doing stuff.
So that's the whole fascinating thing about the way GOSA has developed. These programs that we've rolled out are mature programs. They're well thought out. They're well presented. They're well put together, and they answer a societal need. They are truly a public benefit. Yeah. The Girls on Fire campaign and the Gun Buddies program are truly, and they have legs far beyond what GOSA has. They can travel overseas, and they can be put down in a place overseas, and they can take root right there by a local organization or whatever. That's something that as a public benefit GOSA is bequeathing on the world. And there's a lot of interest overseas for these kind of programs.
We always think that South Africa is the really the bad place in terms of crime.
Yeah.
The one lady that I interviewed in New Zealand, she's in Auckland, and she says 1 out of 3 kids in New Zealand have been exposed to abuse. One out of 3. It's a horrific, apparently really a massive problem. We always think about that we're the worst. And look, we are one of the crime capitals of the world, but still there is, what happens here happens all over the world as well, in a different way.
I guess. Wow.
Anyway, on that note, and we'll have a fantastic weekend, and I just heard our generator go off. Do you think the batteries are all right?
No. They aren't charging today. I mean, it's guttering down.
It's absolutely terrible.
It's setting, it's soaking, etc. So.
Any case, before we get cut off, cheers.
Bye all. Have a great weekend.